Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? I come to you guys with another tragic story of another rapper being gunned down after a robbery attempt in Los Angeles. The rapper that I'm reporting to you today is rapper PnB Rock. Now, PnB Rock is a rapper from Philadelphia who has his songs, most notably Selfish. He has other hit songs as well, and he has now tragically lost his life today after his girlfriend basically posted his location on Instagram. She shared that they were at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And after that, two assailants, I want to say, went to attempt to rob him. It went south. They ended up shooting him, and he has now been pronounced deceased as of today after an hour or so of the incident. Now, there was video of the aftermath, and it is being shown on Twitter where he was lying in a pool of blood. He was kind of still awake. And in his, aftermath, he was kind of like moving himself a little bit. And then some of the people who were there, they started to move him, flip him over. And I was like, no, 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 no. Like, why are you guys doing that? But it's sad nonetheless. A lot of people are now bringing up the conversation of Pop Smokes. They're bringing up the whole don't share your location thing. And I think it goes without saying across the board. When school had just started this year, a lot of parents didn't put their kids in school last year because they still wanted to keep them home. So this is outside of the whole PnB Rock thing, but just saying a level in safety. When the 2022 school year came, I noticed that there was a lot more kids who were back in school and a lot more proud parents who were doing the usual sharing of their child's first day. I'm a mom. I participated in sharing my child's first day, but I was very, very careful to, before I brung her to school, I took a picture at my home, and when I did take a picture of her at her school, I made sure that there was no identifiable locations to identify where my child went to school. What I noticed was there was a lot of parents who were propping their children up in front of the sign that showed the school, showed badges of teachers and all of that. And I was baffled at how many people were being reckless with information. So this isn't just if you are a rapper, you have to be cautious. You have to be cautious of anybody, whoever, wherever. It doesn't matter if you're a rapper, it doesn't matter if you're a YouTuber, it doesn't matter if you work at the bank, it doesn't matter your occupation. It's not safe to share personal information that you're currently at. It's not safe to share information of places that you visit frequent. So if you always go to a certain Starbucks, it's not wise to show you at said Starbucks. It's not wise to show, hey, I'm always jogging here. I'm always at this gym. I'm always, it's not safe for anybody because anybody can become a target. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, if you are a thousandaire or a hundredaire or whatever the case. It's just very, 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 very safe to, if you do share, then share once you leave. Because we all visit places where we want to, you know, share with people. We're proud of it. Like, oh, I went here. This was a cool place, or da da da. We share when you leave. And a lot of us, even me, like I probably felt like I was far enough away from home and shared a place that I've been at, and I tried not to do it, but I'm sure I have done it a time or two. But this is just a reminder that anybody shouldn't share. Now, a lot of people are going to be blaming the girlfriend. A lot of people, and I see it even in the chat, where they're like, oh, it was a setup and it was this, it was that. sometimes people just post stuff. Like PnB Rock himself posted when he was out last night. So just because you don't tag the location, that doesn't mean people won't know where you are. So a lot of people are automatically like, jumping down, her throat. And it's like you could be careless and just showing a design of a chair. You could be careless and just showing certain aesthetics of the building that you're at. It's not just, oh, tag, hey, I'm at Roscoe's. When I looked at PnB's story, he has shared the night before or 10 hours ago or whatever, they were at another restaurant and he showed the chair, the patio, and all of that. And that's all identifiable information. I've been places myself where I didn't even tell people where I was at. I didn't say, hey, I'm at the whoop-de-whoop. I've literally posted myself sitting in a chair before, and there's been people who be like, oh, you was at the da-da-da, you was at ba-boom ba-boom, like, like without even listing where you are. Showing identifiable things can also be a factor as well. So I'm going to show you guys his Instagram story. I'll bring you guys up to speed. Those of you guys who don't know who PnB Rock is, I'll play some of his like clips of some of his songs. You have heard him before. So I'll do that in a second, but let me pull up his Instagram to show you before his girlfriend posted where she was, he posted where they were also prior. So as you see right here, this is 23 hours ago. So this is PnB Rock's story. And as you can see, this was yesterday. And he's at a restaurant. So he's at a restaurant and he posts up the dish. Now, you can Google search. I don't know if you guys know, but you can Google search images. If a person wanted to get at him yesterday, they could have took a screenshot of this dish, Google search, because this is a unique dish, put it in Google search to see where he's at. On top of that, he showed the outside. So right here, if you go back, hold on. So right here, it's more clear when I look at it on my phone, but you could see the chair, you could see the patio, you could see the architecture of where he is. And all of this stuff is, even though it's quick, it's identifiable. So a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's the girlfriend's fault. They both shared their location while they were there, and these types of things right here, you can look it up. Matter of fact, let me see while we're live. Let me see if I can screenshot this and put it in Google Images and find a location. Hold on one second. I'm just going to do this on the fly. I don't know if it will produce any results, but I'm going to see if Google tells me anything while we are live. Let me just put this plate. Select, save, image. We're just going to see real quick. I'm going to just see if there's anything that pulls up. Oops. I mean to do that. Take that off. Let me see. I'm gonna just do it real quick. Just to alert you guys on the dangers of sharing anything. And we've all been guilty of it. So this isn't like, a blame game or anything. We've all been guilty of sharing certain information before at a time. So let me put it in. Let me see. Okay. So I put the picture in, and it pulled up a list of different restaurants. And it's pulling up like potato wedges is honing in. So let me make the photo bigger, the area bigger, and let's see what comes up. Okay, so I'll just show y'all what I'm looking at real quick. Okay, so as you guys see right here, and I could sit here for a little bit and get a better picture of it and everything like that, but right here I just put find my image, okay? And it pulls up different restaurants who have these things. So I could try to, narrow it down and get a little better, but just giving you guys a quick reference that it's dangerous to share certain things, but let me, for those of you guys who don't know who PnB Rock is, let me bring you guys up to speed by playing a couple of clips of his music.
I came up from nothing, you can't tell me shit. Yeah, did it on my own, take out my neck, take out my wrist.
All right. So you guys are probably familiar with that. I ain't never had it. Every day we lit. Wait, every day we lit. You can't tell me shit. Every day we lit. I came some started from the bottom. Yeah, you know we lit. And you know you lit.
I'm selfish. I want to going through some changes.
Why is it playing?
I came up from nothing. I'm selfish. I want to order myself, I swear. You don't need nobody else.
All right, that's one of his biggest songs. I'm selfish. I'm selfish. I don't need nobody else, I swear. You know.
I like being around you. Feel like Kanye, I'm bound to. Shawty, if you down, I'm down too.
All right. So, if you ain't I'm sure you've heard at least one of those songs, and that is PnB Rock. Those are his biggest hits that are most notable that you would know. But for those of you guys who didn't hear what happened, let me give you the breakdown. So 30-year-old, it says Philadelphia rapper PnB Rock was killed after being shot multiple times at an LA restaurant. He was 30 years old, and he was reportedly targeted for his jewelry while dining at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles with his girlfriend. PnB Rock, best known for his groundbreaking take on the trap genre, was fatally shot in Los Angeles. It says, according to the Los Angeles Police Department, the 30-year-old Philadelphia rapper, real name Rakim Allen, was killed after being shot multiple times at Roscoe's. The time was around 1:15 p.m. The victim was eating at a table when he was approached by one suspect. LAPD officer Norma Eisman said to Rolling Stone, noted that the suspect demanded items from the rapper. The suspect removed some items from the victim, then entered a waiting vehicle and fled the scene. The rapper was rushed to an area hospital where he was pronounced dead at 1:59 p.m. As of now, LAPD officials haven't named a suspect in the shooting, but sources previously told the Los Angeles Times that PnB may have been targeted for his jewelry. It says that he was reportedly at Roscoe's with his girlfriend, and social media users noted that she had shared a geotagged image of her food to Instagram in the since deleted post, according to the Times. The rapper signed with Atlantic Records in 2015 after the success of his 2014 Real Nigga Bangas mixtape, which he wrote while incarcerated. His debut single, Fleek, was a national introduction to the rapper's unique melodic flow, while his follow-up, Selfish, reached number 51 on the Billboard Hot 100, along with his sultry take on the genre. The rapper also used his platform to explore the systemic ills in his native Philadelphia, as evidence on his introspective 2014 track My City Needs Something. In 2019, PnB collaborated with Ed Sheeran and Chance the Rapper on Cross Me, a groovy electro pop single that Sheeran's fourth studio album was a number 6 collaboration project. Later that year, he joined Nicki Minaj on Fendi, a syrupy murder beats produced single that helped promote Nicki Minaj's Fendi prints on the fashion collection. So that is pretty much the breakdown on who PnB Rock is. There was people on the scene who basically got the aftermath. Now, it is a very, very, very bloody scene, so I'm not going to show it, but I will play the audio from the incident. Hold on one second.
I don't know how old he is. I don't know how old he is. 30. He's 30. Yeah, he's 30. Y'all have to tell me the question. I didn't come in. Where is room at? Where's room at? I don't know what I said. On the other side. Got to. It's on the other side. Turn over. Okay. Turn over. I'm gonna put him in a car sprinting. I'm not gonna let everyone else is coming.
Yeah, they really walked right in there, boy, and try to rob him and popped him, bruh.
Yes. All right. So that's the audio of him in the tragic scene. Let me play the part that I can play.
Yeah, they really walked right in there, boy, and try to rob him and popped him, bruh, a few times.
I didn't mean to show that. I did not. Oops. I did not mean to show that. Darn it. I gotta go back and I gotta delete that part out. I did not mean to show that part. I didn't mean to show that part. I hate how fast it auto played. Damn. I was not trying to show that. I was not trying to show that. Anyways, let me see.
Sorry to say that the victim has been pronounced deceased at 13:59 hours today. South Bureau Homicide is working this case, as are many other detectives. What can you tell us about the victim age? Sorry to say that the victim has been pronounced deceased at 13:59 hours today. South Bureau Homicide is working this case, as are many other detectives. What can you tell us about the victim?
All right. People have been sharing their greatest memories of PnB Rock, their condolences and things like that.
Other hip-hop or R&B artists dies over gun violence. But to me, what's sad is how many people continue to live as if we're guaranteed to have a long life. Sadly, it's not surprised that enough.
Boy, fuck. People live as if what? Like, that just annoyed me. Like, what are you talking about?
I was gone, but I'm back again. Thankful I ain't never got a trap again. And I won't never put my hands behind my back again. All my days in jail is over. I ain't going back again. Whole time I was popping, I was on the run. I'm free, man. I feel like my life just begun. Hell yeah. I done maxed out. All my real niggas, yeah, they know what that's about. Taking over, time for me to do the shit. I knew the streets were me.
I'm not superstitious enough like that, but I haven't been robbed.
That's why I feel like LA spooky, man. Like, it's just so bold. Like, I'm seeing mad videos. It's broad. Like, they don't even do it at night. Like night maybe, but broad daylight, that's when they really do it.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
And they just walking like a regular nigga.
Hey, we got this shit.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know, man.
What the fuck is going on?
This is the new generation, you know, that shit like everybody on some demon shit. Demon time, this, demon that.
Wow.
I'm not superstitious enough like that, but I haven't been robbed.
That's why I feel like LA spooky, man. Like it's just so bold. Like I'm seeing mad videos. It's broad. Like they don't even do it at night. Like night maybe, but broad daylight. That's when they really do it.
Yeah, that shit
And,
crazy.
and
It's
they
on
just
some
walking
broad
like a
daylight,
regular nigga.
Hey, we got this shit.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know, man.
what the fuck is going on?
This is the new generation, you know. It's
Keep the gun close.
PnB, I rock PnB. Hot class, shawty so.
I can't play all of it.
Tell me.
All right, so this is XXX Tentacion and PnB Rock in the studio together.
That's scary, bro. Bro, once you learn how to use your vocal range, you can do some crazy shit.
Yeah, I don't know how to finesse it.
Alright, play it.
Picked up.
Slow it down.
How many things?
What is it at right now?
It's at 72.
72. Put it down to like 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
That shit was so shit, bro.
Take this damage and the way I feel can't manage. I don't understand it.
Bring it right back.
All right, both of them are resting in peace at this moment.
Hold on, that's a quick down. I can't take you back. No. Like, hey, I remember that first day.
All right, I can't play the audio of a lot of it.
That kill PnB Rock, bro. Hey, real shit. Hey, fuck you niggas that kill PnB Rock, bro. Straight up. Fuck you niggas that kill, bro. I swear to God.
But just know that
Like that, your heart so bold, so cold, so thrown, you fight right back.
All right. So yeah, he was kind of a little bit cloud chasing. That was crazy. Moving on. So, sending my condolences to his loved ones. It's very sad and unfortunate that it's not safe to go anywhere. And it's like I posted up a post because somebody from my from my Facebook had posted up a post, and they were basically comparing Los Angeles now to Los Angeles back in the day, and felt like Los Angeles now is more dangerous. So I'm going to pull up that post and I want you guys to tell me what you think. Do you think that Los Angeles was more dangerous when the Bloods and the Crips was like tripping hard back in the 80s? Or do you think it's more dangerous now? Okay. Let me show y'all what they said, and then I'm gonna show you what I guess Cardi B said about it also. So, he said, "This LA is worse than the 80s. At least back then it was over colors. Now it's anybody with jewelry. You gotta be careful." So, what do you think? Do you think that LA is more dangerous now, or do you think that it was more dangerous back in the day? Cardi B has chimed in on it and given her opinion on it. And she says that she highly doubts that people were looking at his girlfriend's Instagram. So she said in a tweet, "I highly doubt niggas was looking at PnB's baby mom IG. He was in a bad location and people stay outside plotting. It's very irresponsible and inconsiderate to blame her for something so tragic. We should be sending nothing but love to her and his family at this time." Okay. And it's coupled up with the post that she posted. So this was the last post that she posted where she shared that she was at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. Okay. So that is that on that sending my condolences to his girlfriend, his family, and anybody else. It's a sad situation anyway. The cookie crumbles, especially when people are so young. 30 years old, losing your life, being gunned down for somebody senselessly targeting you is forever sad. And I'm not sure if he was street. I'm not that much privy to him from what I know. I know that he had got into like a back and forth with Rod Wave, and he had basically made comments, but this was like 2 years ago. Like he had said something about Rod Wave making like depressing music, but other than that, I'm not really sure if he was like street or anything like that. So it's sad nonetheless. In these streets, how people move. Now, moving on from that, and I will have Alfila's gonna come on in a second. I will have other people come on, but we're gonna talk about some other um topics as well. Representation matters. So going on to the release of the Little Mermaid, and just to segue a little bit, the trailer for The Little Mermaid just released, and it shows Holly as the Little Mermaid. And on her Instagram, she shared a clip of a bunch of little girls of color, black girls, watching the trailer and the reaction to it. Now, a lot of people, when you look at the Little Mermaid, we've always known Little Mermaid to be white with red hair and be a mermaid. And so the trailer released, and people set their children down to watch it, and the look on the little girls' faces when they realized that the Little Mermaid was black was just heartwarming. It was really heartwarming. So I do want to share that with you guys and share why it is important for little black girls and girls of every race to see their representation on the TV screen. So let me pull that up.
What is this?
Watch it.
She's black?
What?
She's black.
Oh my.
Wish I could be. Her skin.
What about her skin?
She doesn't like mine.
It is.
She's brown like me, Mom.
What, baby?
She's brown like me.
Yeah, she's brown like you.
Yay! I wanna watch it.
I thought that was adorable. So I definitely wanted to share that with you guys. I thought that was really, really adorable. And I feel like representation matters. And just to see the reactions of their face was like, wow, that was definitely beautiful. That was definitely beautiful. And too cute. Too cute, too cute, too cute. So, moving on. We talked about Nicki Minaj earlier. All right. The Barbs got mad. There were people who made a lot of excuses. And I gave my opinion on it. I'll let y'all know that I'm not a stan of anybody, but if you are a watcher of my channel, then you already know that I'm not a stan of anybody anyways. After I got off live, the beef, the tweets, everything continued. So I started off by telling you guys how around the time that she got the Vanguard Award, that she had one of her barbs who was simultaneously getting into an argument with Cardi B. When they got into an argument with Cardi B surrounding the lawsuit that Offset has against QC, the barb was basically saying that Offset had gotten with Sweetie. They said that like Offset was cheating with Sweetie and going back and forth. And Nicki Minaj seemingly co-signed the barb. And I didn't make a video on it at the time because I'm like, Nicki's about to be 40. Clearly, this is childish. Clearly, the beef is old. And I'm like, let's hope that she's not co-signing her barbs to go after people. Then there was the Queen Radio, where you said she's in her mid-40s. I don't know how old she is, but at some point it gets tiring. And it's the same tire that I get with Kanye also. At some point, it has to be about the music and not about the drama. If every time you release a song and you solely focus on the drama, it starts to become a gimmick at that point, to me. Same thing with Kanye West. When Kanye West drops any project, when he drops his Clothes with the Gap, that's when you start seeing him attack Kim. When he drops a song, when he drops an album, that's when he suddenly has these mental episodes and he starts all this drama and chaos. Okay? When Nicki has been dropping stuff lately, it's starting to become a pattern. And if Nicki is GOAT status, as a lot of you guys say, there should not be a need for gimmicks. It should not be a need that, okay, well, Nicki she was quiet all this time, so now she gotta address. No, you actually don't. You actually don't. You actually don't. And you guys sound weird for saying that Cardi B must have given somebody a check because they have a disagreement about Nicki. Now, if you did not watch my last video, then you probably would like to go back and see the disclaimer, because we have definitely done several videos that were not pleasant to Cardi B. Cardi B has never given me a check, and my mind cannot be sold. Okay, I'm sorry. I know the mental capacity of a lot of you guys, it's so low that you can't comprehend that if I lick the ground that this person walks on, that probably will never acknowledge me ever in life, if I lick, worship, stand this person, if a person actually disagrees, then they must be a Cardi B fan. Like, that's literally the capacity that a lot of you guys have. Like, it doesn't resonate that possibly people are a little bit older And they kind of get to a point to where it's like, how long are we going to keep this up? Now, y'all seen me in my YouTube career where I got into it with this blogger before. I got into it with, T.S. Madison before or whatever. If years later, every single year, I'm reigniting another beef with T.S. Madison, or I'm reigniting the same beef with this person, at some point, y'all gonna tell me, Nick, hang it up. Like, how long you gonna keep on with this beef and not focus on your talent? How long are you going to keep on with this same old thing? And y'all would hold me accountable if I'm beefing with people back to back to back. If y'all see me, the people that y'all ever see me fall out with, if I keep on every single time I have a high and I'm calling them out and I'm shading them and I'm doing all this, y'all would call me out and hold me accountable like, Neek, when we gonna focus on you winning? You winning right now. When we gonna focus on that? When we gonna just stream your stuff? When we going to focus on you that bitch? You that bitch. If I'm that bitch, y'all better not never let me focus on people that should be irrelevant. Period. Cardi B is competition to Nicki Minaj, whether Nicki Minaj is GOAT status or not. She has not made it to where Nicki Minaj is, and she still has a long way to go to be on the same comparison, like, or whatever, but she is competition. And it comes a point to where we understand that there's competition, but if people are solidifying you as that bitch, you gotta, at some point, the competition should be so far behind you that, bitch, I'm winning. I got a solid fan base. If I get on here and if I drop Queen Radio, I'm going to get X amount of listeners regardless. If I drop a project, if I drop this, they're going to support. Like, at some point, it has to be to where it's like, listen, I've elevated. Now, I'm not there yet. I'm not 15 years in my YouTube game. Okay? So I'm going to be honest. Sometimes people say stuff and I might snap back. But, there was a time when Rihanna, when she first got in the game, she used to be clapping back. And this is what I said on my last live. She used to be clapping back at this person, clapping back at this person, getting into it with this person, getting into it with that person. And after she was solidified, she leveled up. She became billionaire status. She's selling makeup. You can't even get her to sing a damn song, let alone argue with a motherfucker on social media, because she's elevated herself to be that bitch. Like, what y'all saying matters to who? Bitch, I'm a billionaire. Fuck you. I just had my baby. I don't give a fuck. Like, at some point in your career and your success, it has to become a point to where you don't have to. What does she have to prove? Because I see a lot of people saying, Nicki Minaj is tired of this. Nicki Minaj is tired of that. But at what point is it that she has to prove anything to anybody who got something to say other than in her rap? Now, if she want to call the girls out in her rap, then hey, that's what the art form was built off of. Bitch, you saying this, you saying that, I'm gonna address you in my song, and at the same time, I'm gonna make money off of it, and we gonna put it on wax like that. Fine, if she want to do that. But I keep hearing people say, oh, well, Coi Leray says something, so Nicki Minaj has to address Coi Leray. Lakia says something. Mind you, these are 15 and 20-year-old girls. Nicki is 2 times their age. If y'all see me on the internet constantly feeling like I gotta keep checking a 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old, and once I reach 40, it's time to hold me accountable at that point. And it's okay to be like, listen, I like you, but I want to enjoy the music. I like you, but we done built you up past that. We got your back. We gonna stream your music. We going to, make sure you go #1. At some point, it's like she already got the barbs doing the bidding. So why does she have to say anything? So when I got off live, I told y'all about how, she was insinuating the thing that a lot of people they felt like it was to Meg. And then she also said what she said about Garcelle, where she was basically saying she was mad at Garcelle because they interviewed Jennifer Huff, which is the woman who had the case against her man Kenneth Petty. Yes, PnB passed if you just now tuning in. When I got off, she was then shading Cardi B, saying that, and before she started shading Cardi B, I also mentioned in my last live how there was people saying that she was telling people to report the neighborhood talk or whatever, right? And I hadn't seen it yet, but somebody sent it to me. So I'll start there and then I will break down what's going on. And then I'm going to bring Fila up. Hold on 1 second, Fila. I'm going to bring you up in a second. So don't click off. I see you there. Don't click off. So the Neighborhood Talk had posted a clip of her going off on Garcelle. And when
Imagine telling someone.
Clip, hold on. She told the Barbs that to go report his page. And I didn't see the tweet yet, but now I see it and I have the proof of it. So I'm going to share it with y'all. And then I'm going to share what happened after I got off live with her and Cardi B.
They wanted ratings. And the next thing that happened to them, they were canceled. And now this lady is on one of the Real Housewives talking about, leave my son alone. Don't leave comments under my son's page. Bitch, if you can't feel this, stand a motherfucking heat. Get the fuck out the kitchen, bitch. Do you care about my motherfucking son, bitch? Did you care about my motherfucking son, hoe? I see why that white man left you, bitch. Disgusting. But I always tell you guys, because they wanted ratings. And the next thing that happened to them, they were canceled. And now.
So this is what Neighborhood Talk posted, which is the same clip that all the blogs posted. The Jasmine Brand posted, Neighborhood Talk posted, Hollywood Unlocked. Well, they, Team Cardi, but whatever. There was a lot of people who posted this same clip. I mean, whenever anybody does a podcast, that's what the blogs do. They post snippets. They post stuff they're not going to post your whole stream. They're going to post clips. So one of the Barbs got mad that Kyle, the Neighborhood Talk, posted that. And anybody who knows Kyle and knows the Neighborhood Talk knows how much of a Barb Kyle is. Now, I even be under the post, under the Neighborhood Talk, and I be like, Kyle, now, child, this is some Barb stuff. Or I just be like, child, this is a mess. Some of the posts, you can clearly tell he be posting stuff, shading girls on her behalf. And while he's shading people on her behalf, the Neighborhood Talk is fine. But when he posts a clip that she said out of her own mouth, she basically told the Barbs to basically go attack. So this is the post right here. So somebody said, y'all peep what Kyle just did. He purposely posted a shortened clip of what Nicki said about Garcelle so that people would drag her. He hasn't posted ish about that lady going, and then I don't know what else they said. And so Nicki says, has he posted anything about bitches making fun of someone's house burning down? I had his ass on my show, and Barbs are the ones that got his site popping. Stop going on that shit. Report and move on. And I haven't seen his site today, but I'm just saying. Okay? So she was basically telling her Barbs, stop going on the neighborhood talk, report, and move on. Okay, so people took that as she was telling the Barbs to report his page. Now, I mean, y'all could take that how you will, but that's pretty much, what happened. So, somebody said that Kyle is moving weird. Somebody said, Neek, I didn't see you go live talking about Cardi clowning a man's house burning down. I don't know about it. So I can't go live about something that I don't know about. So if Cardi B made fun of somebody's house burning down, then she would be dead wrong too. But I can't report and tell y'all about something that I don't know about. I don't know about her going live because I don't follow her. To know that. I didn't see that posted on the blog because if I did, I would have brought y'all up to speed on it. Somebody said picking and choosing. Picking and choosing what? What I don't know about? I don't know about that. Anyways, so after that, she started going on and on and on and on some more. So she started accusing Cardi B of trying to be like her. She said, trying to embody someone's look is one thing, but trying to embody their whole personality, psycho things. Sympathy and payola, ha ha ha. VMA wig, now you comedian cause Nicki on here posting vids and memes. Usually you ranting when people post you, man. Go on. Okay. So if you guys don't know, recently Cardi B is wearing a bobbed wig. So I guess that's what she's talking about. The fact that Cardi B is now wearing a bob. And somebody said, Neek, if somebody is taking shots at you but not at your name, I'm sure you're not finna be quiet, especially when you at the top of your game. So if I'm at the top of my game, I'm successful, I'm at the top, I got streams. You said if I'm at the top of my game, I'm going to do what? If I'm at the top of my game, the tippity top, I'm at the ceiling. A bang, sorry, not a bob, a bang. A bang. A bang. I'm jealous of who? Child, y'all just say anything. Hold on, let me put subscribers only because now it's about to start getting weird, child. It's about to start getting weird. Cause what? Who? What? I'm jealous of what? Child, y'all just be saying anything. But let me get through this real quick before I move on because I gotta bring Alfila up. Anyway, so she said that she was trying to copy her. Y'all funny in the chat. Anyways, So she then said, hold on, wait. She said, like, imagine saying sympathy and payola, then the tweet forgetting the blame, the ha. Now it's the gal one skin out me poom poom. Okay. Then she said, hey, yo, somebody want to play win again? And then JT replied, and then Cardi B replied and said, at. So basically, she was telling Nicki Minaj to at her. Like, if you're going to be subliminal, saying subliminals, at me. Then JT replied and said, one of my favorite songs, next to Shanghai, that you pay dust, I'm sick of you. Next to Shanghai, that you pay dust, I'm sick of you. So this is what JT hopped in the middle of her going back and forth with Cardi B, hopped in the middle to say. Then Cardi B said, this ish is tiring, old, and redundant. Same formula, different year equals start chaos and then promote their shit. I actually have a life outside of my house and Twitter. Until bees put an at on it, they talking to their mother. Bye. Okay. And that was after people had started adding her, asking her what she was doing today. So they had posted and they said, where was you at earlier, mama? And she said, frying fish, picking my kid up from school, went to Target and took a nap. You know, living. Okay. So that's what she said. In addition, she said, I guess this is me. Hocus pocus. What else did she say? It was some more stuff. Okay, so let me go back here. Somebody said she fried fish. All right, let's bring Fila up before we go to the next thing. Go ahead, Fila. Hey.
Hey, first of all, how y'all doing tonight? I hope everybody doing well amongst the land and the living. You feel what I'm saying? You kind of covered all, what was going on in the world of Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, et cetera, et cetera. But by the way, that new song with Meg Thee Stallion and Lil Kim, that song is a banger. But I like to go back to that's my song right there. But I like to go back to the PnB Rock, rest in peace, and let everybody know, like LA is way more dangerous than it used to be. LA used to be one of those towns, I believe that, if you wasn't involved in a certain type of, drama, or if you wasn't involved in a certain type of lifestyle, you could pretty much be safe. You stay on the north end, you stay over there, maybe downtown LA, you might stay over there in Beverly Hills, Hollywood, just basically stay north of Pico, right? You was pretty safe. But what's going on nowadays is, compared to back then, I think it was a lot of more elders in the games, you know what I mean, that was kind of controlling, the young people saying, hey, this is what we do, this is what we don't do, this is the areas we go to, this is the areas we stay out of. Well, now today, in my opinion, I believe that, the younger people, they don't take their directions from older people. They don't take, they don't look at the blueprint of what so-called big homie is saying. So I think that they're kind of like more like renegade-ish, you know what I mean? Like you could be part of a gang in LA and the gang may even have a statue coming down from the big homie of we do this, and we don't do that. But it's so many subsets within the game. You get what I'm saying? And so now to me, not just Los Angeles, every city, you got to watch what you're doing. You got to watch where you're going. And this internet right here, man, everybody always saying, Compton versus everybody, Chicago versus everybody, this guy, that girl versus everybody. But to me, it's the internet versus everybody. Because, when you put things on the internet, it's kind of like an open invitation for people to study you. Some people are going to admire you. Some people are going to say, oh, you live a beautiful life. I like what you got going on. And other people, they might just admire you. You get what I'm saying? I ain't saying that's what happened in their situation. Because me personally, you know, like Cardi B said, I kind of agree with that. I don't think that per se, maybe they was looking at her at his girlfriend's page and knew where they were. I just think, you know, that part of Inglewood over there off of Manchester, you know, hey, it's anything goes, you know, and you got to know kind of like where you at and what you're doing when you're in these type of places. Like if you go somewhere and you're not familiar with that area, or if you are familiar with that area, because I heard him talking on a YouTube channel where he was saying that he got attempted robbed in LA a couple of times, not just one time, right? So I believe that PnB Rock, he was familiar, you know, probably more than most with the Los Angeles, you know, area and the lay of the land, right? But, you know, we all human, right? You know, a person should be able to go to Roscoe's. A person should be able to go somewhere and just chill with their girlfriend or their family, you know, or their kids, right? But sad to say, we living in a time now where things are getting worse and worse as far as people violating other human beings. You know, we don't take into account, or should I say they don't take into account that you with your girlfriend, you know, that you with your kids. It seems like the thing about the young kids today and what I see with the streets, it's all about money. You know, whether you're doing porno or you doing robberies or you doing kick door home invasions. As long as you get into the bag, it seems like you celebrate, right? But I feel like what's missing is like the brotherly love, the sisterly love, you know, the moral, the code of conduct. All those things is kind of out the window. So with that said, you just got to be a little bit more careful, whether you're a celebrity or you just a regular person like me. You got to kind of be a little bit more selective of who you hang with, where you go, who you let in your circle, you know, your inner circle inside your bubble. You got to be very selective these days because, you know, your very life may depend on it. You know what I mean? And I just say rest in peace to PnB Rock, man. You know, I listen to his music. I think he's a good person. You know, I always thought that he had, you know, a good code of conduct about himself. He had a good conversation. I used to see him on different, you know, podcasts, and I always thought that, you know, in my humble, you know what I'm saying, opinion, I thought that he was a good young man, you know, just trying to use his talents to get to where he was trying to go in life. And, you know, that's sad that he met his demise today in Los Angeles. And so my message for everybody, wherever you at, he was from Philadelphia, but from Philly to New York to the West Coast, you know, be careful, man, you know, and watch your surroundings and, you know, be a little bit more vigilant about where you go and where you spend your time, not just when you're out with your family, but just be a little bit more vigilant too about who you allow to call you a friend and who you call a friend. That's kind of like my take on it.
I see fellow YouTuber in the chat, Sean David Wade, talking about it. My on the right channel, you comedy. Sean David Wade, come up if you like. I put the stream link in the chat. What's your thoughts on Nicki Minaj and Cardi B outside of what was posted?
You know what I feel? I feel that they got a legitimate, you know what I mean? I won't say hate, but I'll say, you know, strong dislike for each other because it just seems like this has been going on for some time between them and the back and forth. And, you know, to them, it might be friendly competition because they two people that's sitting at the top, you know, like you said, of course, probably Nicki is more financially set at this point, you know, but Cardi B got endless potential, endless possibilities. I just think that a lot of times, you know, it's the fans that amp it up. You know, it's the people who weigh in on it that amp it up. To them, it could just be, you know, I just don't like you and you don't like me. But it's like two dudes that belong to a gang, right? I might not want nothing to happen to your family. I might not want all your cousins and brothers to not, you know, like me. But by me saying what I got to say about you, they just automatically, you know, amp it up. And I think that's what's going on with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj because they both celebrities and people both, you know, a lot of people love them dearly on both sides. So everybody's going to weigh in and they're going to say things that's probably not really there. And, you know, that's just how it goes sometimes when you're at the top. You know, everybody that's out here somewhere in the middle or at the bottom or not quite there, you know, we all weigh in and say, well, this is why I think she said this or, you know, this is why this probably happened. But in my opinion, you know, and I come from the rap background, I just believe it's friendly competition between them. And it's probably a lot of dislike for each other. You know what I'm saying? Genuinely.
It's a friendly competition though if she's saying that she's copying her and she's co-signing people who are going at her?
Well, I think this is what it is. Okay, imagine this. Imagine you get successful like you successful, right? At YouTube. Imagine if you just ultra successful at something, right? You might be a little bit more sensitive than the average person, right? Like I rap, right? But I'm not at the top of the food chain. So if someone says something about me, I don't got time to pay attention to that. I'm too busy chasing the yeses right now. I don't even too much give to, you know, about the no's, right? But I think somebody that's ultra successful, sometimes they become ultra sensitive, right? So they find things about their competition and they say, oh, you shouldn't have did this and you shouldn't have did that. But that person who's doing it, they're probably doing it from a different motive than you think. They might be doing it for attention. They might be doing it just to up their stake and just to up who they are, you know, what they mean by in the rap game and to broaden their fan base. It might not even be personal. They might be sitting there laughing while you responded. But I just think that as big as you come, you kind of get fixated on your own celebrity. So, you know, the little bittiest things might get under your skin at some point. You get what I'm saying?
I understand. I mean, even as a YouTuber, stuff gets under my skin, but at what point am I going to keep reigniting the same thing over and over again? Like I explained to them, like I've gotten into it with, you know, a YouTuber before, but it's like, how many times do I keep on reigniting and getting into it with this person over and over again? And at what point do I say, you know what? I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me. I'm gonna do me. You do you. And even if my fans bring me stuff, because even as a YouTuber, people bring me stuff like, hey, this person shaded you, or this person said a shady post. I literally write people and tell them, I don't give a fuck about it. Like, hey, okay, good to know. Like, thanks for keeping me up on game, but it's not nothing that I'm going to acknowledge. Now, I'm not saying that I don't clap back at nobody, but certain people who I've already gotten into it with, it's like, how many times am I gonna keep on? Like, who, like, nobody gets tired and saying, you know what, I'm gonna just see you when I see you in person, and that's just gonna be that.
Well, you got to think of it like this, and this is just my opinion. I think when you reach a level, you know, of ultra success, and you got all of these people around you, that's basically like taking steps before you take steps, because they've done this before with other people. They made other celebrities, they made other brands, they made other people be able to go into, you know, like different areas besides being a rapper, like movies and, you know, fashion and cologne. So a lot of times, I think that a lot of these reactions is, if you can imagine two countries going to war, right? It's just that big. Both of these people had the potential to ruin each other, you know, by something not being answered, something not being addressed properly, something not being, you know, amplified properly. It could make one person obsolete, and that new person, the person that everybody's talking about. So what I'm saying is, you know, you got publicists, you got lawyers, you got managers, you got radio people, you got tour people, and you got all these people who's making a living off of you. So at this point, you got people walking in front of you that's already laying out a script. So I don't think a lot of times that when they go back and forth at each other and the things that they say, I don't think that is just purely like how you do, you know, just say, this is how I'm feeling, so I'm not going to address that, or this is how I'm feeling, so I'm going to say this. I think it's a lot of more people involved that say, hey, you know, I think you should say this, or leave that alone, or, you know.
I honestly don't think that anybody is pulling Nicki Minaj strings to say anything. I think she's running on her own accord. She's seasoned. She say what she want when she want, and she has no consequence behind it. So I don't think that anybody is pulling her puppet strings to say, hey, go at Cardi. Or I think she's, whatever she do because she want to do. She's at the level to where anybody around her is mostly yes men. Most of the people who she even considers to work with are people who have kissed her feet, and I don't think she does anything that anybody tells her to do.
Okay, let me ask you this question, and I can make it a little more clear to you. Do you think that Cardi B is her number one nemesis in life, or do you think there's some other things going on in her life that she's angry about, she's upset about, and she wants to voice, you know, how she feel about these people? Do you think Nicki Minaj just today on this Monday night got some stuff on her mind other than Cardi B that she would probably want to vent publicly?
I think that she has a lot of pressure. So the fact that she is getting older is playing a part. The fact that, you know, even though, like, I'm gonna be real, I'm not no Barb, I'm not no nothing. I think, honestly speaking, as we get older, our bodies change. So number one, she's getting a lot thicker. She's getting a lot older. And a lot of her records are not sticking how they used to stick. Whenever Nicki used to put up a song, her songs used to go. As she's gotten older, from my personal opinion, when she did the Beam Me Up Scotty mixtape, banger. When she did her self-titled album, banger. Now she started to make songs that I was listening to, that Nicki Minaj is talented, but the songs were whack. So she got to a point to where, damn, I'm starting to lose a little bit of leverage as the it girl. I'm getting older. Some of my songs are not sticking. And also, who I've chosen as my mate comes with a lot of scrutiny. So I do think that she is under a lot of pressure outside of just it being a Cardi B thing, to be honest. But I think that what she's choosing to focus on seems to be what it on the outside, like she's sitting there focusing on Cardi B the most, to
But
me.
the point I was making was this. I know right now today, because we're all human, right? She got somebody that
her age has nothing to do with it. Yes, it does.
No, I'm not
As
saying
a
that.
female rapper, the older you get, the age, it definitely does.
No, I totally agree with that. I'm
Her
just saying
age has a lot to do with it. It definitely does. Go ahead.
I agree. But what I'm saying is this. Right now, today, Nicki Minaj, right? I'm sure she got, I'll just say 2 people. I'm sure it's more than that. That didn't really piss her off. And she probably wanted to vent. She probably wanted to get on the internet and say, don't go to this cafe. Don't fly this airline. Don't go to this jeweler, right? But I think that when I say that there's other people and there's handlers behind the scene that's kind of orchestrating some of these events, they see the barometer of her dropping in stature in the rap game, right? And so it's their job. That's why they're there. Their staff. It's their job to keep her at the optimal, relevancy that she can, as long as she can. And the reason why, in my opinion, that she don't come on and she don't vent about all these other people that's in her life or situations that's pissing her off is because of the fact that it's not profitable. It's not profitable to her career to talk about these other things. It's profitable for her to talk about Cardi B. Cardi B is somebody that's popping. Cardi B is somebody that, in my opinion, that people are gravitating to right now. I don't know how long that will last, but I'm just saying.
But that cheapens her. If Nicki Minaj is at the level that she is, and her focus is a Cardi B who is not even on her level, doesn't that start to cheapen your legacy? Every time you drop a project, you focusing on somebody that's supposed to be beneath you, doesn't that kind of cheapen it up a little bit?
It does, in a sense of maybe the old listener, somebody that knows her from the days when you was walking in, Kmart or Big K and you seen her clothes. It might cheapen it from that perspective, right? But the flip side of that is you're gaining a new audience. You're in new conversations. You're being talked about around people that maybe just turned 21, 22, that's not really feeling you like that. So it's like what you're saying is true, but it's a flip side to, to that coin. But I just feel like, in the world of media and in the world of, viral moments and in the world of keeping your name in the conversation, keeping your name in the hat, I don't think that there's rules anymore. I think it's no holds bars. And I believe that
you keep your name in the conversation by putting out dope projects.
I mean, it used to be that way, but now you get people that are celebrity because of the fact that people know their face, people hear their name. It's not necessarily because of the music, because if that was the case, she would have been out the game because she ain't put out no hits like that. You get what I'm saying? Like back in the day, if you didn't put out a couple of hits like back to back in a while, people would automatically assume that you was a has-been and it'd be hard to come back from that. But nowadays, you could have a few missteps, right? But as long as your name stays relevant, whether you on Love and Hip Hop, whether you doing YouTube, whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you have relevance these days.
So basically, she needs Cardi B's relevancy to also remain relevant.
I don't think she needs it. I think she could go without it if she never said nothing about her because she has a loyal fan base. But what I'm saying is, I think it does more help than harm for her to engage back and forth in Cardi B on any level. We sitting here talking about it right now. I wouldn't be talking about Nicki Minaj today. I don't think I played a Nicki Minaj song in I don't know how long. You get what I'm saying? Just keeping it real. You feel me? But it's interesting if I hear, oh, Nicki just said this about Cardi, or Cardi said this. Now I'm kind of on the phone, like, let me see what's going on. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, that was over that. It keeps her relevant. You get what I'm saying? I don't think she needs her in the sense of, because she got a machine behind her. That Young Money machine behind her. That OVO. All them people is behind her. She got a machine, but I think that machine, in order for it to work for her at her stage in this career, she has to be on point with staying relevant in the conversation.
So you don't think that she stays relevant by teaming up with Drake, teaming up with Wayne, and using the formula that got her to where she is now?
They say the things that get you there sometimes ain't the things that keep you there. And they dang sure ain't the things that take you further. It's just like friendships. Some friends was good to cheer you on, but then they become haters once you really own, right? So I think she's making changes. Just like I'm gonna tell you a person I see making a lot of changes. I never used to see Janet Jackson on IG. She on there all the time now. She's sharing other people's videos. She's talking about viral little videos. She's giving you a lot more behind the scene. I remember at a point in time, Janet Jackson was like super exclusive. And it was hurtful to her brand to show you so much of her. You seen bits and pieces of her here and there, and you yearn for more because it was that time. But now a time when people is kind of like in the information age, that's kind of like you obsolete if you're not in the conversation. You get me? So I think that Nicki and Cardi both use it to their advantage to just stay, relevant. Not relevant in music, but just relevant, in that media space. You get what I'm saying?
All right. So that's that one. That I'm gonna take a couple people who want to chime in. Kiki, go ahead. Are you ready? You gotta unmute your mic.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How you doing, love?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing great. I just want to talk about the PnB
PnB rock.
Yes, because I live out here in LA, and I'm not too far from that area, and I feel like people that are from out of town should do a little more research about LA. Like, that's South Central. Like, that's the heart of South Central. And I feel like when you come out here, you should do a little research on areas. Just like if I go to Atlanta or anything like that, I do my research before I go anywhere. And to me, just looking at the girl, I'm thinking like I wouldn't expect her to take him somewhere like that. Like she could have took him to the Roscoe's up the street, like in Inglewood somewhere. It's a little bit more.
How do we know that? We can't say that she took him there. He a grown man.
Yes, but she was driving, and she had I seen her, like you can see her on her phone though.
Yeah, but I've been the driver of a location that somebody told me, like, okay, let's go here, and I'm the driver. So we can't say just because she's driving that she is the one who said, hey, let's go here.
Yeah, right. But if you see it, Nick, if you see the area off back, you'll be like, oh no, let me go.
No, I know. Yeah, you gotta drive the way you go in. It's like a one-way in to the little parking lot. I live in California. I know which one it is.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah, I'm from California. I know.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that right there, and I don't know, that kind of took me for a left right there, and it broke my heart that that had to happen to him, and he had a show today, and it's just been a lot going on in LA, period, with shooting and guns. It's been going down out here, so I just feel like that right there just kind of rubbed me the wrong way on that situation.
Yeah, I felt the same way when I heard it happen, Kiki. I felt the same way.
I want to before you finish, I want to address this person before I lose my thought. I'm so horrible at cutting people off and addressing people in the comments, but I just want to address this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody said, Neek, you make your money online talking about other people's business. So what's wrong with Nicki making money talking about her own? Well, I'll tell you. Me, I'm tired of my pussy is the best pussy. I got the best pussy ever.
Right.
From Nicki. to be honest.
Right.
So I would actually love for her to use things about her. I would love to hear about her talking about herself in music and talking about her motherhood. I would love to hear another moment for life where she's telling us about the moment that she has in her life right now in lyrics. I would love to hear about her life in her music, to be honest. So if she used her life and she wanted to make money off talking about her life, I would actually love that, because I loved when Nicki Minaj used to be diverse and she used to be telling us about, you know, how it was coming up in the industry and having haters, how it was, you know, like she used to have a very diverse topic and it was relating to her life. Now, only songs that I hear from Nicki Minaj is "My pussy is the best. I got the best pussy. He loved my pussy. Ooh, fuck me. This is the best pussy ever. I'm the best. I'm the best pussy." That's literally the content in all of these latest songs. You bald-headed mama, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So basically, but off of what you were saying, I'm sorry. I agree, and the thing is this, I actually was a huge fan of Nicki Minaj when she first came out, even though I was too young to be listening to her. But my thing is, I feel like
Are you there? Hello?
I see her mic is muted.
You got to unmute your mic. All right. Come back. Tommy?
Hey, Neat.
Yes.
Okay, so the thing with Nikki, I think that it's a kill two birds with one stone type of situation. I think that it's a PR stunt while simultaneously trying to air out her frustrations. I think that's what it is, because there are some things that are so obvious that it's a PR stunt. Like she's unfollowing people that support her, and she's posting clips of people that heavily dislike her. So I can't be mad at her. She's making her money off of this, but I understand what you're saying. It's unnecessary. You said it yourself. She's on top basically. And my thing is that we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. What I think personally is that the thing with Cardi and Megan, I believe that's true, but everything else is questionable to me. I just think because it's just so obvious that a lot of it is a PR stunt. She started all this drama right after she dropped her Queens mix. She did the exact same thing with Cardi B back in 2018 when Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, when they fought at the New York Fashion Week. Nicki didn't go on no rant on Instagram. She went on Queen Radio and talked about it, and she released a few songs. She used that beef to promote her platform and her music. I think that we're just taking it a bit too seriously. I think it's just all a PR stunt, to be honest with you, just to promote her platform, because she just got a new platform with Amazon. So I think that's just what it is. I don't think it's that serious.
I believe you, homie. I believe the same thing. That's facts.
Your bald-headed mama, you got cut off?
yeah, my mic cut off unexpectedly. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
I don't think Nick listened to Nicki for real. I don't. I listen to the songs that make it to the radio. And I will say that Do We Have a Problem was not My Pussy is the Best song. And I actually really, really liked that song. And I was proud that it was a different subject matter. And then it got right back to My Pussy is the Best. Now, I only hear what make it on the radio because I'm not a stan of either. Same with Cardi. I can't tell you what's on her album. I can tell you what's on the radio. I can't tell you what's on Meg Thee Stallion's album. I know Plan B because it's on the radio. I can't tell you what's on Lotto's album. I could tell you the songs that make it on the radio. Go ahead, bald-headed mama.
So all you guys are making like very valid points. But I think another perspective I wanted to add is I feel like with
Wait. Sorry. Somebody said you're not a fan, so how you judge when you a part-time listener? Because do you have to be a fan of somebody to give an opinion about behavior that you see? So in order for me to give an opinion, that means any video that I've ever done, I have to be a fan of all those people.
And think about what they're saying right there. If you was a fan, you would have a biased opinion. So who would want a fan's opinion of anything? I want an unbiased opinion of everything.
Go ahead, you bald-headed mom. I'm gonna stop.
Hey, stop saying that because you're making me laugh. But go ahead.
It's
That's a cold
okay.
name
It's
right
okay.
there.
I actually have a special story behind that name, but because I see some people in the comments coming for my name. But back to what I was saying is I feel like when it comes to female rappers, everybody always pits them against each other. And I feel like with Nicki Minaj, I do feel like to a certain extent she's childish to be going back and forth with girls that are like in their 20s and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't feel like those women are off the hook either, because I kind of feel like some of them take digs at her and stuff like that, and they tend to be slick at the mouth, and nobody really pays attention to that. People seem to pay attention to Nicki Minaj only when she claps back, but nobody ever really seems to want the other girls to take accountability, because with Cardi B, she was picking a lot and stuff like that, but also people don't seem to understand that she
Tell us any enlightenment that we haven't shared that Cardi B did. Tell us.
My thing that I've noticed about her is she kind of does do certain things to copy Nicki Minaj, but she's not blatant with it. But there are certain things that she does, and even with the new surgery that she got, she almost tried to make her features look similar to her in a way. And I kind of been noticing that lately. She's been changing up her face a lot, and she's been doing a lot of alterations to her face to the point where almost all these women look the same. But other than that, that's really it. That's all I could really think of. But I do feel like I kind of feel like people don't seem to understand that sometimes Nicki Minaj feel like she's cornered and nobody really says nothing about it until she gets mad or until she goes off. But that's just my thing about it.
All right, thank you.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, how are we making Nicki Minaj the victim? Like, she's most of the time starting everything, all the drama. Most of the time, she's starting it with Cardi B. She's starting it with Megan Thee Stallion. These people don't just pick fights with this woman. She is not the victim in this situation.
I agree with that.
I feel like most of the time.
You know what, like male rappers and female rappers, it's kind of like a double standard, right? Like you got an E40, right? He's been in the game since the 80s. I think E40 like 55, 57, right? He stays relevant because he makes good music, but he also has put his name in attached with other things like beverages and food and stuff like that. But I notice he always features a lot of young rappers that nobody really knows in his music to keep him relevant. But I feel like females, they haven't got to that level yet to where they feel kind of like they're so secure with who they are that even if they make somebody bigger than them, they won't be relevant. And I just think that's like the double standard with men and women in the rap game. I feel like women in the rap game, they almost got to like defend their position at all costs, because once they start losing that leverage, in the marketplace, it's kind of like no coming back from that. You know what I mean? So I think that's why a lot of these female rappers, they kind of maybe go at each other a little bit different than the male side of the rap game.
But I feel like this time frame, it's mostly been Nicki going at everybody else. I don't feel like anybody just comes out the game going for Nicki. If you look back in the past, you can see videos of Cardi B supporting Nicki Minaj. Nobody's just coming for Nicki. Nicki's usually coming for them. She usually starts the drama, and then they have to defend themselves. Cardi's defending herself. Megan's definitely defending herself. Like, these people are trying to defend themselves against her. She has a whole machine, the Barbs, the terrorists, whatever they want to call themselves. She has a whole group of people behind her, supporting her. So these women just defend themselves, to me.
All right, Ebonique is going to be the last caller of the night. Go ahead, Ebonique. You're going to be the last caller of the night. Then we're going to end the stream. Ebonique and Yusuf, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, hold on, my collection splotchy. I'm on my way to get some Rellos. Hold on.
What was that?
My connection is splotchy. You can go to another person.
Go ahead.
I'm on my way to get some Rillos.
We can
But
hear you just fine. Go ahead.
oh, okay. All right. So boom. I feel like I'm a huge fan. I used to be a huge fan of Nicki Minaj. I still like her music, but her ways recently have been questionable. And I do feel like you can't keep hollering that somebody's beneath you and then still keep constantly subliminally saying little smart things to them and antagonizing them. It doesn't make sense.
All right, Yusuf.
Hey, Boo. Hey, everybody. Hey, Nick, Night Owls. Hey, Alfila. I love when you
What up?
come.
How you feeling?
I could tell y'all real friends. Y'all chemistry is dope. But let me say, I've been upset these past couple days, Nick. I've been upset with Nicki Minaj. I don't want to have to be on either side of the hate train. I'm usually saying like people stay calm and just support who you support. You don't have to pick one against the other. But I have my feelings too. I feel like I always loved Nicki. I always knew what she stood for. The way when she came out, when she was coming out the Barbie box, slashing everybody's verses and all of that stuff. And then now when you see the new Nicki, it is all my pussy, my pussy. That's all you hear. And we know that you got that good fat wet cat. We understand that, and we're proud of you. But there's more to life, and I really do want to hear another moment for life. I fly with the stars in the sky and the winds leave you alive, and all of that. That's dope. You know what I mean? And that was real. And then we just want to see more of that authentic Nicki, and we know she got it in her. So she's literally being the bully right now. And I really just want to sit her down and spank her ass because she's really being bad. She's really being bad. And I didn't even realize this until today, literally. I've been sitting here watching this whole Nicki and Cardi thing and not even realizing how bad that it was and how Nicki really is feeding into it, y'all. And we can't always sit around and make it like she's never wrong. I love her to death, but I love her enough to tell her when you're wrong. We want to hear more than about that pussy. And you over here and you're being petty with these young girls, and it is looking crazy. It is looking crazy. I even saw with another YouTuber did a video, and she's one of the most politically correct of us all. And Nicki liking tweets from her rabid barbs talking about going to shoot the girl down and hunt her down and all of that. And Nicki over there liking the tweet. So I did not realize that she was so petty. And that's the Sagittarius in her. But that's
Well,
all I have to say.
she married. She married. Now, so her last name Petty. She can't help it. She petty.
Right. She literally married into it. And Nicki was already.
I wanted to close out and say, thank you for Yusuf for coming on.
Thank you, Boo. I ain't seen you in a minute. It's good to catch you.
Oh, thank you. I gotta, child. I gotta come back. The last thing I want to note, if you are a female rapper, and I keep seeing a lot of people, they keep saying Nicki has always supported the girls. Nicki has always been about the girls, which I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see it until after Cardi. If she was supportive of women before that, y'all gonna have to enlighten me. I didn't notice her ever being about women empowerment ever before that. So again, I don't know. But what it seems as of late, if you do a record and you are a rapper and you do a song with Nicki, then it's starting to kind of feel high school. Same with Meg Thee Stallion. I'm just winning my damn eye. Shout. Same with Meg Thee Stallion. It feels like Meg Thee Stallion, she's trying to if you do a record with her, you can't do a record with Tory. And I mean, I get it. That's a criminal case, so that's a little bit differently. But still, she was dictating or trying to dictate who works with who. But when it comes to Nicki Minaj, it seems like there's this high school type of clique. And it's like, okay, if you do a record with me, then you're a part of my clique, and you can't work business-wise with Cardi. You can't work business-wise with this person. And is that what we're about? Because a lot of times people say what female rap does versus what male rap does. Is it so cliquey like that to where people who are not of the same clique? Now I understand Lil Durk got his crew of 4F or whatever his crew is. And people have their gangs, but like if a person is a featured artist, is it like why does it feel so like high school to where it's like I can't do songs with you if you do a song with Nicki or I can't, like why does it feel like that? Because it feels like Nicki has come to a point to where you have to like her and only her, and if you don't like her and only her, then you an enemy. I feel like that's kind of high school. There's a YouTuber like that I kind of fell out with and was the same way. Like when we was cool, that person would be like, oh, you talk to this person, I don't talk to that person. But it's like, unless somebody does something that is like they stole money from you, they slapped your mama or something, sometimes y'all petty disagreements don't really have nothing to do with the other person. So is it like, I don't know, I just noticed a lot
I
of
think the female rappers are fighting over the boy.